to learn, for instance, or ask educators about, what knowledge did they have of policy? How likely were they, if they did have knowledge, how likely were they to follow the policy? To what extent did they feel there was support for a trans-inclusive and affirming policy in their schools? And also we asked educators to rate their knowledge and understanding of trans inclusion and gender diversity. We also asked them about any specific training and professional development that they had received and where they received that training. We asked them to talk to us or to provide us with their knowledge of resources or their thoughts about provision of resources. And then finally in the survey, we were wanting to learn more about the challenges and barriers as they were identified by the educators themselves. And finally, we did ask for recommendations. So there were quantitative items, but there was also space in the survey for educators to elaborate and to provide, qualitative and written responses. And in fact, those responses, we spent many, many days, many hours that spilled over into over a year, actually, of constantly returning, to those comments, to code them and to capture, I think, the essence of what educators were telling us about their experiences, both with the policy, their experiences with support, their identification of the challenges and the recommendations. But I just want to stress that that was a very protracted process, just because the amount of data that we did get, there was over 1,000 people who completed the survey. The survey was distributed through social media. We had great support, and Jenny played a leading role in this through OSSTF, and the unions were very supportive in sending out this research to educators. And so, we had a lot of data and a lot of voices that we were listening to, and we wanted to do justice to capturing the insights and the perspectives of educators who took time to complete the survey for us. As you will see with the regions there, it was quite expansive across different parts of Ontario, the central, the west, and you can see the breakdown of the participants there. So, central, west, east, north. And so we were happy about the nature of that representation. And I just want to say this, I know Kenan will be moving shortly to talk about the findings, but I just wanted to say that there was consistency across boards and across regions, actually, in terms of the findings that Kenan's going to talk about. So I don't want to encroach upon that right now, but I just wanted to mention that because I think it's really significant. And also in terms of, the position of, the positions that educators held, there was a range of them as well. A significant number of elementary and secondary teachers, which we were happy about, but also occasional, a number of support staff. There was a small number of administrative, librarian, and just a small number of teacher candidates. I also, before we go on to the findings, want to acknowledge Dr. Lynn Dare. She's in the audience. Hi, Lynn. Lynn was instrumental to supporting us throughout COVID, when we started to really continue into analysing the data. And Lynn was such an amazing support for us. And in fact, the leadership that she provided and the leadership of Kenan and Jenny, who were RAs on the project, I want to acknowledge we're a team, we worked together, and without them, we wouldn't have been able to produce this report or the toolkit that came from it, which was in fact Jenny's idea, and it's so wonderful to see it come to fruition today. So I'm going to hand it over to you now, Kenan.